What's going on, guys? This is Lior and welcome back to my channel. Now over here, I am back on our site where we're gutting 8 units as apartments. And what I wanted to show you guys was talk a little bit more about mechanical coordination here, right? These are 2 smallish buildings. So one of the things that we really had to work through during this construction process was really coordinating all of our mechanicals between HVAC, plumbing, electric. I'll show you guys right now inside what's going on. We are at the finished stage right now, but you'll get a sense of just how much detail went into all of this coordination. I'll talk about some of the things that we really had to think through, talk through as we were doing this project. So let's get at it. So welcome to inside the building. And as I said, I want to give you guys details not only about a lot of the rough work that we did and the mechanical coordination, but also, as you can see here, we're doing the finish, right? Our kitchens are going up now, our floors are down, a lot of our trim is up. So we'll kind of talk about both the rough and finish of this project. And one of the things that was a challenge with this particular project was all the mechanical work that needed to go in during the rough stage, right? So over here, we have, of course, you had a typical HVAC, electrical, plumbing. You'll notice too that the building it's not a huge building, right? It's a brick row house, not a ton of space, and there was a lot to fit in, right? There's soffits for the HVAC. You can see them, you can see it's soffit out over here. Each unit needed also an ERV, basically in exchange for fresh air. So those are all located in units and they're ducted to the back. Of course, I had to do all the typical ventilation, like your kitchen hood. And then there was your other rough mechanicals, your sprinklers, right? So you need your sprinkler heads everywhere. And again, just when there's not a lot of room, when the units are a little smaller and you have to stuff a lot of things in, there's just a lot of coordination that goes in between all the trades. And that was one of the challenges here that we really had to work through and execute. Now, the other thing I'll show you guys, other things that we have to think about, these are their furnace closets. Each unit has its own, these are our typical co-closet. Each unit has its own laundry closet as well, right? So we had our laundry stacks running up and down as well through the building. And then in the basement, where we actually finished another unit, we had additional hot water heaters, we had sump pumps. One of the units, which we'll show you guys, we actually had to hang the air handler above, like literally hang it above in the bathroom because there just wasn't enough space to necessarily comfortably fit it in. So there's just a lot of, again, there's a lot of coordination work that goes in when you're dealing with different square footages. Sometimes we do projects that are in the suburbs and they're large townhouses or single families and there's plenty of space to work with. But when you're in the city and you're doing maybe smaller apartments, everything gets compressed a lot tighter. Another example I wanted to show you of the coordination, right? This is the lower level, the basement, that we actually got approvals to finish the separate units. Now we had to, again, there was a lot of coordination going on in terms of how everything vents out here. So you can see over here, we have soffits that run with all of our HVAC, our ventilation. This allows this part of the living room to kind of stay open, whereas you get, this part gets a little bit of a drop ceiling. So all of those little kind of facets have to be coordinated between HVAC, plumbers, framers, right? It's just a lot of things going on. And then the other thing I'll show you guys, we'll go outside. As it's a little loud, we have a generator running. Some of the other work that we had to do is drainage, right? So we had to do new utility lines coming into the building that included new water, new sewer, and new fire line. And then we also, over here, ended up digging this whole area and we stuck new Coltic chambers, right? And this was coordinated between our site guys, that do all of our utility work, as well as our plumbers. But basically all of this is Coltic chambers, and you have your whole water drainage exterior system running through here, some pumps connected. So all of this stuff needs to get coordinated as you go between rough through your finish stage. Obviously now we've landscaped this because we were able to close this all up, but it's more coordination that needs to be done, right? So that's kind of the point of this video, is when you're going through these city projects and there's a lot of moving pieces and it kind of can be tight spaces, you really have to put you really have to work through with all your different subcontractors. Make sure you make sure you're coordinating, double checking everything to in order for the building ultimately to be up and running and everything to be working properly. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. That was kind of the point of it, was talking about the importance of coordinating with all your different subcontractors, especially when you're in the city. There's a lot of, and you're doing multifamily, and the units can be tight. There's a lot of different things that need to be coordinated back between many different subcontractors. Everyone's got to sign off ultimately on the same plan, and that's your job ultimately as the owner or the developer. So hopefully that helps, guys. I'll be sure to do another tour of this project once we're done over here. See you on the next one.